Alrighty, so the news is here, and it's a little bit later than normal for me, at least. I think it's not only an hour late, but we have daylight savings time now, which is also really annoying. I really hate dealing with that. But obviously, the new Ludociel patch is here. We're going to go over the length, or the entirety of the patch notes on global, because normally I do just like a kind of swift go through of whatever gets translated on the Grand Cross database whenever the Japanese patch notes come out, and then I'm just going to do a full go ahead and read everything pretty much. I won't read like the small text or whatever for like how to do these events or whatever, but yeah, 2 hour maintenance. It's not looking like it's going to be anything crazy. New Ludociel seems kind of meh, to be honest. But anyway, before we hop in, I do want to say, thank you guys so much for the support lately. Feel free to subscribe and all that good stuff if you haven't already, if you're newer to the channel or anything. Currently we have a sponsor with HelloFresh going on right now, so I'll let you guys see the ad, and then we'll hop into the news. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit with easy and affordable options that are already pre-packaged and get delivered straight to your door. I really hate going to the grocery store, and with HelloFresh you can completely cut that trip out of the equation, which saves you a ton of time and just a lot of hassle. For my first meal, I went with the ginger chicken rice bowl, which honestly turned out so good thanks to the little meal prep cards that come inside the package. It basically lists all of the, ingredients and tools that you'll need to make the recipe, and it cut down on so much prep time. It was very convenient. If you're like me and you have a hard time finding a decent variety of meals, or just maybe want to try something new, feel free to head over to HelloFresh using the link in my description and use the code on screen at checkout to get yourself a nice little discount and some free shipping. I would like to thank HelloFresh again for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back into the PvP. Alrighty, so obviously we have this new Ludociel. I have watched quite a few videos on him. We did another one of those streams today, or this week, where we watched a little bit of gameplay, and he was pretty underwhelming, at least PvP-wise. I think he's going to make for a halfway decent unit for Nidhogg. There's been a lot of leaks recently about a red Magelda. We obviously don't know her full kit or anything like that, but there is a pretty decent chance that she's supposed to be for all of the demonic beast characters, or like battles, I guess. So it's going to be for bird, deer, dogs, dragon, all of them. So I think that she is potentially going to replace the current Nidhogg team. They're on the current Nidhogg team. Two of the biggest characters that people are using are Blue Elat, which is very odd, but she has like a cleanse card, and she has debuff immunity and defense related stats on her ultimate, which is really helpful. She also has an ultimate removal, which is kind of nice, and then Liz just has a really nice heal, which is very helpful. So I think there's a lot of speculation that she's going to replace those two characters on the team, and if obviously she takes the place of 2 units, Ludo could potentially just slot right in there, and I think the only reason that he's going to be halfway decent for it is because the shield is kind of helpful. He's a goddess race ally, so that would help a lot. And then he also has a Pierce card, which is apparently very, very helpful in Nidhogg. I don't know too much about Nidhogg, to be honest. I've really been putting off playing Nidhogg because it's really hard and annoying at the moment. But Pierce cards are really, really good for depleting the bar on Phase 3, so that's really nice. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. Obviously, that would mean that they would need to make Magelda a goddess race somehow with her passive or whatever, which is debatable. I don't know if they'll do that or not, really, but we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, this isn't that patch. We'll have to wait till maybe next week whenever they announce the next banner, so I don't know. Either way, he's a green Ludociel. He's okay. He doesn't really give a whole lot of stats or anything like that from his passive. If you don't know what it does, we can open it up really quickly. Increases goddess allies attack-related stats by 7%. And for every goddess ally on the battlefield, increases the hero's damage dealt by 15%. So he himself could be pretty good on damage dealing, but he also has a shield card, which is kind of counterintuitive, because if he's going to be the damage dealer, you would hope he'd have 2 attacks, so weird thing there. Plus, he already has a, he already has a relic, which is just a basic, or a stats increase, a basic stat increase, if I'm not mistaken. So it's nothing really crazy. I don't know. I don't really understand why they made this character the way that they did, but there is a new artifact card set dropping, which I have been farming the dogs so much over the past like 3 or 4 days trying to get the Hati card because I've pulled 4, I think actually no, 5 skull cards at this point. Cannot seem to get a Hati card to save my life. But you get these 2 cards from the World Tree Exchange Shop, which is kind of nice. And then there is a new Fight Festival Shop card, which is very, very annoying. Not only for the fact that this is a 10,000 coin card. You know, a lot of people really hated the fact that the Meliodas card and the Margaret card that they released a while back for the other card sets were 10,000 coins. But this one's a rare card, so it's not even going to have like nearly as good of stats as the other 2 cards have, and you're still having to pay the same price for it, which is a bit ridiculous. I don't really agree with that. I think that's kind of stupid. I think that it should either be discounted or the card should be UR, so that way it's going to at least have good stats on it. I say good, but I don't know. Cards don't really help too much. They help a little bit, but not a whole lot. But then again, this is this card is for a demonic beast set, so it's not like you really are looking for like crazy stats from the card itself. Set bonus is increases attack related stats by N%, so it starts at 3% and goes all the way up to 15% when all allies in the demonic beast battle are of the same race. So this is obviously designed for Nidhogg because you want to run goddesses. They've kind of locked it in there with Freya's Relic, and Mael, unfortunately, has been incredibly helpful on it, which means that he's kind of like a shoe-in for the team, so if you haven't summoned for him or you're skipping him, it might be really hard for you to try Nidhogg in the future. I don't think he's necessarily like a must-have. There are already people coming up with teams that don't use Mael, just in case, which is nice. And it doesn't seem like Ludociel is going to be like maybe like a must-have, but when it comes down to it later on, he could be on like the best Nidhogg team or whatever, like however you want to, I guess, call that. But like most efficient potentially. So it's looking like a full goddess race team. So we'll see how that kind of ends up panning out, especially with the new Magelda leaks. I'm not entirely sure of that yet. Obviously, some new banners for the new tickets for the new banner. This is the Midway Festival banner. Originally, he was supposed to be a seasonal unit. Whenever the original JP patch notes came out, it was translated that he was not going to be ending up in the general SSR pool because he was like a seasonal unit, and they have since patched that and changed it. So he is apparently going to join the general SSR pool, but who knows when he'll actually hit that, because they seem to take absolutely 10,000 years to add any new character to the SSR tickets or anything like that. So who knows? Who knows when we'll actually see him on there. There are some new bundles, actually, which are kind of nice. I have to say, I don't normally go out of my way to get some bundles, but this bundle right here is really, really nice. It is the huge daily check-in discount bundle, and the only reason I like these ones so much is because there's a ton of SSR pendants, so if you're working on your box, this is like a really nice one to get. Obviously, I understand if you're free to play, bundle, who cares? But if you buy stuff in the game, or maybe you have a little bit of money to spare, these normally aren't too expensive, and they're just like a nice little increase in your account stuff, so just resources and everything. But comes with a couple of stamina pots, which is kind of nice. Tickets, which I could care less about. 1 dungeon key, 1 training grotto key, which is kind of nice. I made a video about training grotto this week, and a lot of people understandably just don't really care about training grotto, but it's really nice for equipment stuff, so that's cool. Some Fort Solgris keys, and then we have not only a time-limited dungeon key, but, you know, the training grotto key, and then we have a couple of SA coins at the end. So just a pretty decent amount of little stuff. You know, you get mainly these 2 right here, the training grotto key and the time-limited dungeon key, are like kind of harder to come by, so getting an extra one of those is pretty nice, on top of all of these. You know, this is 21 pendants, so that's really nice to have. But either way, on top of that, they are adding a couple of other bundles, which are just kind of meh, whatever, like 3rd anniversary bundles. They're halfway decent value, but unless you just need those things or want to spend extra money on the game, don't really care about those too much. But we are getting a new regular bundle, which is the Rank Up Bundle 9. And I thought originally they weren't adding a new rank up bundle, because normally every time they increase the player level cap, so we just got the update during the festival where we could hit level 110, and they didn't release a bundle, so I was like, hey, like, are we gonna get another rank up bundle? But we are, and it's finally going to be here. So you get 20 diamonds per rank, and then you get 50 diamonds immediately. So what is this? 10 or 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So this is 250 diamonds total, which is honestly pretty nice. They're normally pretty decent value compared to like if you were to just go to the diamond shop and buy bundles straight up. These normally have a lot better value. So I normally, if I'm gonna recommend you buy diamonds in any way, shape, or form, the rank up bundles typically are a really nice way to do so. So I'm sure a lot of people will end up buying this one. That one's definitely something that I'll probably buy at some point. I don't know that I'm going to go out of my way to buy it immediately, but if there's ever a point where I'm like, hey, I've got some extra, some extra money, and I kind of want to have some, diamonds for upcoming banner or whatever, like buying this before like the collab starts, which is supposed to be sometime soonish. Could be a really nice little just like increase in your wallet. Or like gym count, sorry, not really wallet, your wallet's gonna hurt for it. And then this bundle I really like. So yeah, system updates, GP acquisition animation speed improved, so just every time that little GP thing pops up where you leveled up a character or bought a cosmetic or whatever, they're speeding that up, so that's really nice because you get it way too often, and honestly, the faster it goes away, the better. Skill search option improved, so search bar where players can search skill names and keywords have been added. Skill details can be directly accessed from the skill search screen. Players can mark skills as favorites in the search screen. That's actually kind of interesting because sometimes like stance cancel's one that I look for, not often. I don't really use the search function all that often, but like stance cancel's kind of nice. Looking for just like different kinds of things. So the fact that you can favorite them is kind of cool. So like ones that you maybe would look for often if you needed to find somebody specific that you maybe couldn't think of off the top of your head. So that's just a nice little accessibility feature. Friends list improvements. So players can now organize friends by rank and by when they were last online. That's actually really nice because I do go through my friends list every once in a while, and I think if they've been offline for like several days at a time, I'll just get rid of people off my friends list because I try to keep it as active as possible so I get more friendship coins, blah blah blah, etc. So nice little quality of life change there. Content added to recommended team display. So we have Nidhogg Boss has been added to the recommended team info screen. So that one's kind of cool. I think if you're interested in seeing like, hey, what are people using on Nidhogg? This is always like an interesting sort of, I don't know, feature that they have. I never honestly use this thing at all, but I might actually look at it for Nidhogg just to see, which I would assume people are just going to be using the most like meta team with the whole blue elat and everything, but who knows. So 3rd anniversary special missions part 2, we are getting one free multi for the Ludociel banner, and it's actually the final reward, so that's kind of interesting. And then you're going to get 4 of the new step up bundle, or sorry, step up banner tickets. So hopefully they go over that a little bit too, because not only are we getting one free banner, which we've been getting login tickets for, but there's another free banner that starts with the part 2 of the festival. So that's kind of nice. This one has a lot better units on it. There's a couple of Ragnarok units which are kind of nice, and I don't know, just more free summons. Can't really complain about that. So clear deathmatch 3 times, play split Rampage Whack-a-Hawk, which is this one right here. I don't really care for this event too much, but it is what it is. Enhance equipment, participate in Basel Fight Festival, use Final Boss Battle Shop. I think it looks like you should be able to do all of these within the first day, I think. I don't know, it depends on how often you get tries for this, I guess, but I would imagine doing it 5 times wouldn't be too bad, I would hope. So that's kind of interesting. Obviously we're getting the whack-a-mole thing, Whack-a-Hawk. It's a pretty standard sort of event. I'm not the biggest fan of it, if I'm being completely honest. It's a lot harder to do on the computer because you have to click and everything, whereas like on a phone, if you have your phone in front of you, you can, click things a lot faster and a lot easier, whereas with your mouse, I don't know, like it's weirder on the computer than it is on the phone, for sure. I've played it on the phone and the computer. Phone's better. But either way, you'll learn how to play it whenever you play it in-game. You can obviously exchange them for coins in the coin shop. Don't recommend doing that. I pretty much say this every time now, but a lot of these events, you can exchange coins to get extra entries and stuff like that, but by the end of the event, even if you get everything in the event that it has to offer, more than likely you're going to end up with an excess of entry tickets by the time the event goes away or you're done with it, so don't recommend buying these. unless you're just in a hurry for whatever reason. Record rewards. So looks like you're going to get, some extra SSR pendants. This is 6 SSR pendants and 1 UR pendant. So that's kind of nice. 30 of each cosmetic upgrade is kind of cool. Actually, not bad rewards here. We've got 30 of each of the original sort of like, I say OG demon, but there's an OG demon now. We have those, and then we have 50 OG, no, this is Belmoth cores. So that's kind of nice, actually. And then we have Super Awakening coins. And then on top of that, we have 2 more free banner tickets, an SSR ticket, the last lucky box, or lucky bag ticket, which is kind of nice. More SSR pendants. Dude, they're really, honestly, the rewards on this stuff is not bad at all. I have to say, they're really pulling out all the good rewards and everything. We got a couple of gems here at the end as well. Step up mission event. So, these are like every day you're going to get 3 missions that you can do for extra rewards. Not a huge fan of these, but I mean, it's just free stuff that you can do, and if it's not worth the doing, then you can just obviously skip it and wait till the next day to get more, missions to get refreshed or whatever. I'm not, I don't know. These are okay. Just gives you a little bit more to do each day if you really want to. And then rewards per step. You're going to get 3 of the free banner tickets here. 3 more pendants, 1 more UR pendant, and 10 Super Awakening coins, and 5 hammers. Dude, I gotta say, they're doing a really good job with the rewards. I don't know what it is. Normally, the rewards are like, here's a couple of XP potions, here's some treasure chests that you can sell for gold. Like, I don't know, they're not putting a whole bunch of, like, the really bad stuff in here like they used to. Like, that's actually really good. I can't tell if it's just because it's the 3rd anniversary and it's kind of a big deal, but very nice. They're also bringing back chapter clear rewards, so if you've beaten all the way up to chapter 25, you'll get rewards for the last 4 chapters, which is kind of nice, so you get free 20 diamonds if you're caught up on the story. I understand that the OG demon fights and stuff in one of these chapters, I want to say it was chapter 22 or 23, I can't remember exactly, but I know that those fights are really hard. A lot of people got stuck on those. Hopefully, I don't know for sure, but maybe with Mayel's festival coming out, if you're like up to date, maybe you summon for Mayel, hopefully you could maybe use him. I don't know for sure. I can't remember exactly how the fights work at this point, but there's always new and OP, like there's always new and updated OP characters coming out with, a lot of these festivals and everything. So hopefully you can beat it now with things getting a little bit more power crept, I guess, but good rewards there, can't complain. We are getting Final Boss Gloxenia and Droll back, which is very interesting because they're also adding the challenge difficulty to it. And from my understanding, it's incredibly easy. Like, I literally watched a video from Nagato on it earlier just to see like if he was using like a good team for it or anything. And you can literally just use the one Escanor solo by himself and beat challenge difficulty on auto. So it's not hard. You should be able to get pretty much everything you want out of this. Obviously, if you want to get the Gloxenia set, you do have to rank in the top 50, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of hate that they, lock the cosmetics behind a little bit of a gate there, but honestly, Gloxenia and Droll both really aren't very useful. I would say Droll, honestly, is more useful because he's a link for Ludociel and for, I want to say, Purgatory Melee, which is kind of nice. So you could, if you want like a really nice link, I guess, and you have him invested into, you could use him for that, but Gloxenia is really like just old school meta, nothing really useful about him anymore, unfortunately, so cumulative rewards, 8 more diamonds, more Super Awakening coins and SSR pendants. Very, very nice. There are 2 new cards, so that's kind of interesting. You get the outfit here for Droll. Unfortunately, you do have to beat it on challenge difficulty, which is kind of annoying. But there are 2 new cards, which is kind of nice, I guess. And the fact that you can farm this one really easily with more modern characters, it shouldn't be too hard to like finish out the exchange shop on this one. Fort Solgris Rewards Part 2 is going to be here, so they're going to be replacing the diamond that we normally get, and maybe some of the other stuff. I can't remember. I always just notice that we don't get a diamond during Part 2, but we'll get, the rewards are going to be changed out a little bit here. Nothing too crazy. Anniversary Fight Festival event, so 50% festival point gain, so you'll be able to grind ranks a lot easier. So if you haven't played the game in a while and your rank got reset, or you're newer to the game and you just haven't been able to push to champion yet, this is a really good time to do so. They're also doing victory count event, so if you can win a match 15 times per week for the next 2 weeks, you'll get a good amount of rewards for that, so that's really cool. Kind of incentivizes a little bit more PvP play, I guess. And then they're also doing the victory box for Brawl, so they changed the regular Brawl box to the victory box, or the 3rd anniversary festival box instead. So instead of having these meh kind of rewards, you get a little bit better rewards. Honestly, they're not super crazy. The Super Awakening coin is definitely like the best part, I would say, in my opinion. But I don't know, kind of a nice little change as someone who actually plays Brawl. Anniversary boosting event part 2. So normal stuff that they've been doing. Oh, they are doing... the dailies are getting tweaked a little bit, where you'll get a little bit more rewards there, so more diamonds per daily, so that's really nice. Do your dailies every week while this is on for sure, so that way you get extra rewards. Village donation event, so if you need more SSR pendants, you can donate gold for that, which is cool. 2 new battle events, one for Gila, one for Shin, which is nice. And then it looks like we have some miscellaneous here, which is issues with Spellbinding Queen, Goddess of Beauty, Freya's relic effect application when Advent of Flash. Covenant of Light Ludociel is set to the fight as part of the team, setting in Demonic Beast battle. Nidhogg. Oh, so this is actually, I think I'm sure what this is. There was like a weird bug that a friend of mine found where Freya would not get the stats that she was supposed to get from like the I don't know if it was just holy relics or passives from the other goddesses, but it wouldn't count her and she would not gain extra stats and everything. But I guess they're fixing that now, which is good, of course. And then we have Knighthood reward acquirement changes. So players will now be able to check in the Knighthood screen when the item storage is full. Okay, so very cool. Obviously, new banners, kind of meh. I will be summoning because I would like to have a copy of every character if possible. I would imagine this is going to be a banner where I'm just going to try to one and done. I'm not even going to... I don't want to do a full rotation if I don't have to on this one, so... we'll see how that goes, but if you would like to see me live do summons and everything, we normally hang out and mess with some of the events and everything with the update as well, and we'll probably try them out in PvP, because why not? Feel free to subscribe and stay up to date, because we'll be going live pretty much as soon as the banner does. That's what I normally try to do anyway. So, yeah, I guess that is pretty much it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And, yeah, I'll see you guys during the live or, whatever kind of videos we do up until then. So, very cool. Very pog. Very champ. Good night.